the sequence of the aids is always leg and then hand. So if I'm gonna do something with my hand, I have to use my leg first. So outside rein is steady, supple and give with the inside. And look, he went round. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to establish a steady contact and how to give effective rein aids. And the reason that it's important that we want to be able to establish a steady contact is because contact is what allows us to steer and turn and get our horse to stop. And contact is also the first part of establishing connection or roundness in your horse. So for all those reasons, it's super important, and it's also important that you do it the right way, because we have a piece of metal in our horse's mouth, and so we want to be as gentle and as soft as possible with establishing a contact and with giving our rein aids. If you haven't yet, I'm doing a free webinar on contact and connection. It's coming up next week, so check the description box and please save your seat. There's going to be no replay, so you're definitely going to want to come live. But first of all, in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you establish a steady contact. So the first tip is to get your horse moving forward. And it's really important that we have our horse going forward in rhythm before we try taking up the contact. So what I want you to do next time you're riding is you're just going to start out with getting a nice forward walk. And then you start to feel the rhythm. So the walk is a 4-beat rhythm, and you're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing that's really important to get your horse going forward is your position. So notice how my seat and my hips are following the rhythm of my horse. So get your horse going forward, and then make sure that your seat is following that rhythm. And you can do the same thing at the trot as well. You can even just do it on a loose rein, but establish a rhythm. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and make sure that your body and your seat is following right with that rhythm, because until your horse is going forward, you cannot take contact. So once your horse is moving forward and you make sure that you're in the correct position, ear, shoulder, hip, heel alignment, the next step is to shorten your reins. But here's the key, is that when you shorten your reins, you have to keep your leg on. So when you shorten the reins, you don't want your horse to slow down. So you're counting the rhythm, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm gently shortening the reins, and you see how now I have a steady contact with his mouth, right? I've taken the slack out of the rein. He's still not really round, but I have a rhythm and I have a contact. And so now that I have a contact, you can see how I'm better able to steer him, right? I can turn a little to the right and I can turn a little bit to the left. So it's really always important that you think of first getting your horse to go forward, and then just taking out the slack out of your reins so that you feel your horse's lips and their mouth on either side. So that's tip number 2, is shorten your reins. Next thing is I want to talk to you about how to give effective rein aids and what that really looks like. So the first thing that's super important is that you have a straight line from your elbow to your horse's mouth, and that you have a bend in your arm. Because if your arm is straight and locked out like this, it's going to make your arm really stiff. So you do need to have a bend in your elbows in order to establish a steady contact with your horse. And at the walk and the canter, your elbows are going to be a little bit bending and straightening to follow the oscillation of your horse's mouth. So, straight line from elbow to mouth, sitting up nice and tall. The next thing that's super important is that we are using direct rein aids. So direct rein aids means that there's that straight line from elbow to mouth. What I see riders do incorrectly is give indirect rein aid. So that's when the rein goes across your horse's neck. You don't want to do that. So make sure that you're giving direct rein aids, which means that your left hand is on the left side of your horse's neck and your right rein is on the right side of your horse's neck. And then if you want to supple your horse, you're going to use your fingers and your wrist. So it's really important that you start with fingers and wrist. Don't right away start pulling back on your horse's mouth. So let me show you this in action. Again, step number 1 is forward, right? And you could see me give him a few little bumps with my leg. And then the second he moves forward, my hips are following that rhythm. And that's really important because if your seat isn't following the rhythm, you're going to be blocking forward energy. So step 1 is get your horse going forward. Step 2 is just to shorten your reins so you take the slack out of your reins. I see a lot of riders, let me know in the comments if you ride with your reins too long. That's a big kind of mistake because if your reins are too long, you're going to have to be doing some kind of crazy things with your hands. I'm going to go ahead up to the trot to show this. So step 1, rhythm and tempo, getting him moving forward. Step 2, shortening my reins and checking my hand and arm position that I have a direct rein aid and that I have a straight line from elbow to mouth. Once I have this, so I've established a steady contact, the next thing is I want to get him a little bit round. And the way I do that is I keep my outside rein steady. I add a little leg, right? Because remember, the sequence of the aids is always leg and then hand. So if I'm gonna do something with my hand, I have to use my leg first. So outside rein is steady, supple and give with the inside. And look, he went round. Outside rein steady, supple and give with the inside. Good boy. So those are the 3 tips to help you establish a steady contact. And then once you have a steady contact and your horse is going forward, it's not too hard to get them round. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm doing a full webinar all about contact and connection because contact is the first step, connection is the second step. And you may not really understand what's the difference between contact and connection, how do you get connection with your horse. So come to the webinar and I'll give you all the secrets. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every single Wednesday, and thanks for watching.